guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Olivia and I'm here with our little family. I'm here by myself this evening and I'm sorry if I've got a bad glare on my camera. I am not your perfect YouTuber. I am not gonna edit. I just put clips together and it's done. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you how to make Grinch Dust. I know it's only the middle of October, but I wanted to get this out there in case any of you have boutiques like me, or have students, you're a teacher, anything, and you're wanting, or you have a vendor event to go to, and you're wanting to do something, or even with your kids, you're wanting to make something cute for Christmas, or make up something to have with your family, start a tradition. I feel like this would be a great one. Basically, it's a Grinch Dust, and basically all you do is you make this dust, and you probably already have most of these items at home, and if not, it'll cost you about $5 to make it, and you'll have leftover stuff for other things. And basically you put it in a Ziploc bag, wherever you want to put it, a mason jar when you're done with it, and on Christmas Eve you sprinkle the dust in your grass or somewhere outside, and you leave it there, and that way when you wake up on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve, the Grinch does not steal your Christmas spirit. So this is basically like a roach, keep roaches away. This is going to be to keep the Grinch away. So without further ado, let me show you how to make this Grinch Dust. It's super easy. Even your kids can help you make it too. Like I said, if you're like me, you're going to have most of these things on hand. A lot of this I did not have on hand, but it cost me like $6 to get it. I already had sugar on hand. We already have a ton of sugar. I just buy it in bulk and keep it in this container. So you're depending on how much you want to make. I don't know. I'm probably just going to do it by hand and kind of just throw it in and see how it turns out. But you're going to add as much sugar or as much dust as you want to make, because your sugar is going to be your main ingredient. I did about 2 cups of sugar, give or take. Kind of didn't want to go out in the cup like it should have, so it may be a little over, maybe a little less. You could use green food coloring, but for a science experience and just showing you could use what you have on hand, you can use yellow and blue food coloring. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and show you how to do. You're going to do an even number of the blue and an even number of the yellow. So if you do a teaspoon of the blue, you need to do a teaspoon of the yellow, because you need to make it even to where it'll turn to that green. So if you don't have green, you can use yellow and blue, and that's why I'm doing the yellow and blue, to show you that you don't have to go out and buy food coloring if you already have the blue and yellow. So for some reason my food coloring is like a food color and not like liquid, so we're gonna hope. I might have to just add a little bit of water to this, but it should work. So I'm gonna add, I've got 1 teaspoon of the blue, and I'm just using a cheap towel to lay these on in case it does get messed up. I'm not worried about it. I never used it anyways. Just been sitting in my cabinet. I added a little bit of water to get the rest of this out, so just basically fill this up to the top with water. It may make it clump a little bit, but we can always add a little bit more sugar to even it out. I'm just gonna add my yellow food color, and I'm gonna put a little bit of water in this just to get the rest of the yellow out. If you had like liquid food coloring, not this gel stuff, I would not suggest adding water, because it's probably gonna make mine clump a little bit. So make sure you get the gel. If not, if you already have get the liquid. If you have the gel, just add a little bit of water, but it may make it clump a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. Whisk or whatever you have and stir this all together. Like I said, it's probably going to clump a little bit. That's okay. It'll eventually dry out, and it'll be fine. I'm going to add a little bit more water because I have some blue and yellow in here that does not want to go away, and I don't want that in there, so I'm going to add just a little bit of water to try and get rid of that yellow and blue. All right, I got about as much blue and yellow out of there as I can get, which it'll be okay because when it dries, you won't be able to really notice it. It is clumps. Like I said, don't add water if you have the liquid already, unless it's just impossible to stir. Then you can add some water. But I kind of like how it turned out. It kind of looks like snow. So bringing my point to snow, normally you would take green glitter. I don't have green glitter, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use fake snow, and we're going to add a little bit to that to make some shine, so when the Grinch starts coming, the glare will scare him off. Added about as much as I want in there. Like I said, you don't want too much of this white because you still want it to be green. You just, like I said, want a little bit of glare, so when the Grinch looks down wherever he's at, this snow glitter, if you have green glitter, that's the best thing to use. But I just had this, so I'm using what's on hand. And yeah, you're just gonna mix this together. So I added a little bit more glitter, but I like how it turned out. It's got a good consistency, it's got enough. So there's that. Now you're gonna take your Ziploc bag or whatever you're gonna use to store it in. I used 1/4 of a measuring cup. I'm gonna use that per bag because you don't wanna use it because it's gonna get everywhere. So, and if it clumps up when you're doing that, just kind of shake it out like I did. And you're gonna put it in your bag. Make a cute design like I have. Mine's not the cutest, but it is what it is, and that's how we're gonna know what it is. Grinch dust. Sprinkle this dust in your yard on Christmas Eve to keep the Grinch from stealing your Christmas spirit. And I just got this sketch pad from Dollar Tree and some markers from Dollar Tree because I didn't have any markers, but if you had markers, it would work. And you can design this however you want. That's just the way I did it. You can print it. I don't have a printer or anything like that, so I figured this was the best way to do it. I zipped mine up all the way. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put a hole in this with my hole puncher, and in the top of the Ziploc bag, you don't wanna put it to where you're gonna break your seal because you still want it to be airtight, but you want it just enough to be able to put this through with this. Some leftover burlap from last year, so that's what I'm just using. I cut a piece. You're gonna pull this through here, pull it through here and make a cute bow or whatever you wanna do. I think bright green would be prettier. This is just what I have for the purpose of the video. Like I said, you roll it and do it how you want. Okay, so mine is tied to it, and look how cute. These would even be cute gifts for at a daycare or in the elementary schools, and bring this home to families. I think that would be really cute. And you kind of want, before you bring it or deliver it wherever you're going to bring it, you want this to dry out a little bit. So I would suggest leaving this open, just one little side, for about an hour or so, or a few hours, just to let this dry out, because you want it to turn back to a regular sugar consistency. Mine's not too damp, but it is a little bit just still from the water. So yep. Hope y'all enjoyed this little Grinch dust. I know it's not really the hardest thing you can do. It's probably the easiest little thing you could do, but I think it is so cute, and I wanted to share this idea with y'all that we will be doing for our boutique this year. Hope y'all have a good evening, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. Bye.